morning, Grand Rising. Good morning, retreaters. Looking for a little self-love today? I'm giving myself a little bit of self-love today. I'm on a little retreat. I'm just shutting down and taking care of myself for a minute. It's so important to give love to ourselves, to make ourselves priority for a moment. Even if it's just for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour, we have to be able to take some time to focus only on ourselves. Just a moment to focus on ourselves. What does it mean? A moment? An in and an out breath is a moment. We can just focus on ourselves for a moment, not the chatter, not the stuff that's around. Really focus on ourselves for a moment. Just before we do a little bit of morning rise, a little bit of morning movement, let's just take just a short moment first, just to take a couple of breaths, 5 or 10, in breaths and out breaths, just preparing ourselves, just a little bit of self-love, just intentionally thinking about self-love while we do our introductory 5 more breaths. Just 5 self-loving breaths. Just 5 self-loving breaths to start our day. Just intentionally lifting up our loving energy. Just breathing in our love. Good morning. Good morning. Just waking up. Just coming to life. Just intending it. Just thinking about it to start off. Just breathing it up. Just starting our day with some intentional breathing. Just starting our day with some core work. Here I am, just in my tabletop position. Just working on my flexion and extension in my spine. See that cat and cow. A cat and cow. Really trying to open up through my mid back, through my lower back, through my upper back, working on my cat, really opening up my shoulders, and then also dropping down my belly, letting my belly come all the way down and getting a nice spinal extension. And I'm breathing in and out. 3, 4, 5 breaths in all of these positions, just allowing the muscles to relax so I can take a nice full breath into my belly. We want to try to breathe air right down into the belly. That's relaxing breaths. Those are parasympathetic breaths, right down into your belly with your breath. And we have to really retrain our bodies to be able to do that. We need to have full extension of the spine
to allow the belly to open with the breath. And we have to be able to have full flexion of the spine. We want to be mobile. We want to be cat-like. We've lost mobility in our spines, and we have to regain mobility, range of motion back into our bodies. Flexibility, strengthening, lengthening. Being mobile comes from practicing mobility. I've got to practice flexion and extension. Flexion and extension of my spine. And I have to practice rotation. I have to practice flexion and extension and rotation of my body. These are the things the body does. It rotates, it flexes, and it extends. So I've got to make sure, if I want to warm up my body, if I want to move my body, I want to make sure I'm including all of these things in my workouts. Flexion, extension, and rotation. So here I am now rotating my body. Very simple rotational movements in a very safe position on my knees. I got my hands on the ground. If you can get your hands into the sand or into the earth, into the grass, wonderful. We're grounding at the same time, adding that dynamic, that energetic dynamic of actually having earth contact, being out in nature, intentionally moving my body first thing in a very logical way, the way that my body moves, just practicing movements, exciting my body, thinking about making myself have a wonderful day with pain-free motion. There we go. Starting to warm up a little bit. Again, I could practice that. Let's go a little more. My body's rotated, working on my flexion through my spine, working through my whole spine, flexion and extension and rotation. And we can add, extension of the opposite and arm and leg. We can extend out the opposite arm and leg, lengthen out the body that way. Spinal extension, length through the body, lengthen out. Inhale. As I extend and lengthen out my body, I take a breath in. As I return and narrow my body, I exhale. Engaging my lower body, my glutes, my hamstrings, dropping down low into my squat, stretching out through my hips, activating those big glute muscles, hip muscles. Heart starting to pump a little bit more now, starting to raise my body temperature. Breathing deeply. Powering myself up, thinking about that, talking about that, imagining that. Believing in that. I am the power. I am the creator. I create the change. I manage my health. I am in charge. Moving the body, opening up the hips, opening up the hips. Warming up the thighs, warming up the glutes and the hamstrings. Good morning. Warming up through the shoulders, warming up through the upper back, opening up the chest and shoulders, extending through the upper body, flexing and extending through the lower body. Breathing, coming to consciousness of what we're doing, moving and breathing, taking control. Just exciting our bodies first thing in the morning, just bringing ourselves to life, just intentionally moving, lengthening out our bodies, strengthening up our bodies. Moving our bodies, just doing what our bodies do. Just moving through the potential patterns of movement that the body can and does. Practicing all the things that the body can do, that's all. Working in the rotations, that's the other thing. Twisting, looking back, rotating. Rotating back, swinging the arms back, opening up through the chest and shoulders. Pivoting through the hips. Side lunging, rotating, opening up the chest and shoulders, twisting, moving the body, opening up, waking up for the day. balance and strength, flexibility and rotation. Drawing the core in some more, getting into the plank position. Drawing the core in a different way, that's all. Holding your planks, nice and flat to the floor, nice deep breaths. Firing up the engine, firing up the heat, building up heat in your body for the day. Pouring some coals on the fire, throwing some wood in the stove. Heating your body up, getting some oxygen moving through your body. Knee to elbow, march it out. Flipping over onto our backs. Working on my dead bug. Engaging through the core. Squeezing those core muscles. Contracting the core muscles. Squeezing the elbows into the knees. Contracting through the middle. From there, open up, inhale. Come together, exhale. Engage the core. Open up, inhale. Come together, exhale. Try to combine that movement and breath if you can. Warming up. Waking up. Doing it with your intention. Doing it with your imagination. Doing it with your breath. Good job. Flipping ourselves over from there. Let's work on some spinal extension. Let's work on some balance. Three to five. Nice full breaths in any position. Just lengthening out our bodies, extending out our bodies as far as we can. It's great to work through a nice full range of motion with our bodies every single day. We want to make ourselves small as we can. We want to make ourselves as big as we can. We want to practice our balance. We want to center ourselves with our breath and our intention and our movement. Lengthen out your body. And breathe fully. Next one, we're gonna fire up those legs. Gonna drop myself into a lunge position here. Got myself into my lunge. I'm gonna add some extension. I'm low in my lunge. I got my legs. I'm engaging my legs. I'm opening up to extend. Open up my arms, my shoulders. Looking up with a nice big breath. Excellent. Coming down. Let's go for 5 push-ups. And we'll turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. Getting low into those legs. Working through the foundation in the legs. Balance and strength down low. Opening up through the hips. Engaging through those hamstrings, glutes, and thighs. And opening up chest and shoulders to the sky. There we go. A little morning wake-up call. Just picking up my energy for the day. Just a little thought, a little intention, a little action, physical action, thought action, imagination, right? Just bringing it all together. Intention, imagination, action, and breath, bringing it all together with the breath, balancing it all with the breath. Have yourself a super awesome, terrific